Hello, ladies, and welcome. It's Twanna, your anxiety and career coach. Welcome to my Friday Live. Welcome to Facebook as well as welcome to YouTube. I am really used to doing more lives on Facebook, but now that I have YouTube added in, I want to give you guys some love as well. So, welcome. I am going to give just a few minutes to give people time to hop on, which is fine. Sometimes we run late. I've had one of those days that I couldn't have dreamed up if I thought of it, right? It just was such a chill day, and I got the news from my homeowner's insurance that, well, you're covered. My homeowner's warranty insurance. You're covered, but you owe $5,000. There is nothing like getting a $5,000 bill that stresses your day out. So I've decided whatever happens, I'll call them back tomorrow, get some questions answered, but the show must go on. So if this is your first time, I'm Twanna Carter. I am a career and anxiety coach. And I help women who are fed up with their anxiety holding them back. And what they really want is to overcome stress and doubt and get their life back on track for success and happiness, because you don't have to choose between the two. You can actually have both. I love telling people that. And when I work with the ladies, and I try to make sure that you can have both. Oftentimes as women, we're told it's one or the other, and you have things going around like if you're a working mom, then you're a bad mom because your kids are this. Then if you are a stay-at-home mom, where you're bad because of this. No. Number one, you describe what success is for you. And number two, you also describe what happiness is. And you can have both as long as you know how to do it. And that's what I do, right? So welcome today. And as I talk about expert tips for when you have suddenly lost your confidence. Now, if you were here on Tuesday, you know that this is a part 2, right? When we talk about the strategies, and on this past Tuesday, we talked about what are the ways people can just have that sudden loss of confidence. For instance, if you've been ghosted by somebody, and a lot of us have, that's a new term. If you thought things were going well with your significant other, and then all of a sudden, pow, they just disappeared. They don't call you back. Nowadays, we call that ghosting, right? They just make like a ghost and disappear. Really can wreak havoc with your confidence. So if you had a presentation at work and it was just a flop, or it didn't go as well as you wanted, or people were laughing at you and they were joking with you and, joking at your behalf and not with you, those things can actually make you lose confidence. And sometimes it's school, sometimes it's going to school, and sometimes kids can be cruel, right? And they can say cruel things, so can adults. And those things that they say can make us lose confidence. And so that's what we talked about Tuesday. You are more than welcome to go to my Facebook page, my business page, Twanna Carter Professional and Personal Coaching, and you can catch the replay of that, and you hear me talk all about it, why and the wherefores and all that good stuff. Today, though, I wanted to get into strategies. What can you actually do when you've lost that confidence? What are the things that you can do to get that confidence back on track, right? And I also have a giveaway today. So make sure you stay to the end, and I'll get that link out there for you. So stay to the end, because I do have a giveaway. It's the cheat sheet, right? It's a cheat sheet on how to get your confidence back. I'm going to talk about some ways to do that, and also give you a cheat sheet, because that's just the way we do it here, right? Give you as much information as you need. So a couple of things. And these are I always have this routine. If you watch a couple of these, you're like, is that? Yes, it is a routine, because that's what helps me with my anxiety, right? So I am recovering from social anxiety, right? So 15, 20, 30 years ago, you would not have seen me doing this. It was not my thing to do, to speak up in front of people. I just couldn't find the words. It seemed like I had a frog in my throat all the time. And, you talk about witty repartee and the comebacks and all that stuff. I didn't have any of that growing up. I did not have any of that growing up. Now, if you knew me personally and I got closer, you saw some of that. But if I were out in public, I didn't have any of that. I just could not do it. And close to 40, I found out that I have social anxiety. And then that's when the light bulb went off, like, okay, if I have this thing, then I can do something to fix this. And so that is how I got here to this space, because I help people overcome their anxiety so they can do what they want. Again, tracking on track for that success and happiness. So that is why I'm here. So saying I have a couple of notes, because I can just go off and really talk, but I like to stick to my notes because I want to be sure to give you everything that I told you I would give you today, right? So I do have my notes, and you'll see me glancing down. I also have a second screen over here. So every blue moon, I'll glance over there to make sure I'm not missing anything, right? And as well, I am missing my chat box over here, private chat. There we go. There it is. I do have a chat. So if you want to send me a chat, you can actually do that. And as well, I have a private chat and I also have a public chat. So you can post comments. If you have questions, you can put that out there and I will answer those for you on while I'm on live. And as well, if you catch me on the replay, and for those who do, as always, thank you for catching me on the replay. But go ahead and feel free to drop your comments or ask your questions as well, because I do follow back up on my live and look at the replays to see who has left me questions, and I will answer those for you. And I did tell you I do have some notes here, so I'll be jotting, looking down every so often. So without further ado, these are the strategies that you can use, right? If you feel your confidence has been shattered, these are some things that you can do to start building that confidence back up. So number one, it is always good to take a step back. Take a literal step back and take a figurative step back. I like to do this, if I'm challenged on something, I like to get away from the situation, period.com. Just walk away from everything, get into a new environment, and I like to take the deep breaths, calm down, and really take a look and evaluate what actually happened, right? Just in a cool, calm manner. If you're still upset about it, if you're still emotional, if you're still crying, if you're still angry, and for some of you who love cussing and you're cussing people out, if you any of those things, really you do need to take a step back, and that's where the deep breaths come in. Take several deep breaths. In fact, take 10 deep breaths is typically enough to get you to come out of fight or flight and start to calm down. Really, if you're like super angry, you need at least about 25 minutes to get you out of that emotional space where you're angry and upset, so you can just take a look and evaluate. Take an honest look in a calm manner and evaluate, right? It is really important that you examine the situation without emotion, because when we're emotional, our brain tracks whatever emotion we're tracking in. That's all your brain is going to look for. If you can calm down and take a step back, then your brain can look at the whole picture and not just what you're emotional or you're upset about, right? And really figure out, the question that you want to ask yourself is, why did you lose confidence? Why did it actually occur, right? And then once you figure out the why, is there anything you can do to prevent it from happening in the future, right? And then in this looking, if you find out that there really is a pattern to this, right? Like every single time, it may be like 5 times in a year, but this same thing always happens, then that tells you it's time to really speak to a professional, right? Whether you choose a therapist or whether you choose a confidence coach or an anxiety coach, get a professional to help you go in and really dig some things out if the same thing keeps happening over and over, because you need to clean that out and figure out what it is, to attend to it, address it, solve it, and then move on, right? Sometimes it is you're in a toxic workplace, and that's why things keep happening over and over. You're not in the place where you need to be. Sometimes you may be in a toxic relationship. It's just time to let that go. You're not in the relationship that you need to be. And so things keep happening over and over that's causing you to lose confidence, but it's the toxicity of your environment, right? And so it's removing you out of that environment and then seeing if there's anything else that you need to address that confidence, right? So number 2, this one works really well, especially if you failed at something or if someone's ghosted you, or we used to call it someone's dumped you. Finish something else. Get another project that you know you can do. It's been left undone. Jump into it with both feet, finish it and get it done, because that sense of accomplishment will boost your confidence, right? It works. Believe me, it works. You can tap back. I have those round two-ish, those things that I'm getting around to, and I'm going to do it. And I just have these unfinished projects that I'm going to get around to one day. Pick up one of those projects, complete it, and then congratulate yourself. Reach back there and give yourself that pat on the back for finishing a project. Because what you've done now is you've given the signals to your brain, hey, we can do something and finish. This is good. Your brain gets excited. It's like, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. And that starts that confidence to building back up, right? And you don't want to tackle like a 2-year project. You want something that you can get to it and get it done in a fairly short amount of time. Save the long stuff for another day. Right now, you want some fairly easy wins to start to build that confidence back up, right? And so that was number 2. Number 1 was really take a step back and evaluate. Number 2 was finish something. Find another project, fairly short-term project. Get it done. If you've got a couple of things, knock them out. And that sense of accomplishment, it just signals to your brain, yeah, we got this, we can do this. The self-esteem gets a boost and you start to feel good and you can build up the anxiety again. Number 3, if you tried 1 and 2 and you're still like, this isn't working for me, get some help, right? Sometimes it is necessary to get outside help, someone who can see things with a fresh set of eyes. When I talk to my clients, I often say I'm third-party neutral. I have a fresh set of eyes. I can see things differently than you are because you're entrenched, right? Be honest about your situation. When you are, finding something to do, finding someone to talk to, be honest. Don't just give them the one side or give them a couple of things that make you look good. Be honest. It should be somebody you feel comfortable with being honest with and being vulnerable to, tell them all about what's going on, right? So sometimes you can find groups to do that with. Sometimes you can find a professional. You can get a therapist. You can get a coach, a really close friend. Be careful with when you start using friends, right, for this, because you kind of have those people. I'm going to go way back. There's a cartoon when there was Slut Rock and everything that happened. He was like the bad luck. If anything went wrong, he showed up as a bad. Sometimes we have these people in their lives. They're like energy vampires. They just kind of suck the life out of you and they just kind of make you feel down, dull, like everything's going bad. Nothing's going to ever go well. That's not the person you want to seek help from. You want to really stay afar from those people. Just stay away, right? Because they will take what little bit of self-confidence you have left and zap it and throw it down and step all over. So you don't want to go that person. You want to go to that friend who's kind of upbeat. I'm typically that person. Someone's feeling a certain way. My friends are feeling, they're going to call me up because they know that I will take an honest look at the situation and give them an honest look, but it'll be upbeat and positive to build that self-esteem up, to build that confidence up. So check your friends, right? If you got that frenemy that's always like, they stick it into you, but they do it with a smile, not that friend. This is not the kind of friend you want to go to when you're looking for someone to build your confidence up, right? And understand that, don't be discouraged if your confidence doesn't come back automatically, because sometimes we say when you suddenly lose confidence, sometimes it suddenly happens. It seems that way. But if you're honest and you evaluate, you can look over time where you can kind of see where it's been going all along. And you had one big blow up or one big situation, just kind of like, bam, and you lost all of it, right? So it may take some time to do that, right? And then number 4 is really, this one works. I've done it myself. It really works, right? Number 4, review your past accomplishments, because again, this can happen, especially when somebody ghosts you or they dump you. You feel like down in the dumps, so like nothing can go right. Look back at your past accomplishments so that you can see that you have succeeded in the past. Now, in the military, we used to call it the I love me wall, right? And people will laugh at the I love me wall. So I don't know if you guys in civilian life call it this, but we call it the I love me wall. In the military, when you accomplish things and when you leave, you got a plaque or, you had things and you would just put it on the wall. And so you have all these trophies, especially if you played football or basketball or golf and you had trophies and you won things and you have everything in a room or on a wall, and we call it the I love me wall. So while we may laugh at that, that's one of the best things you can do is go sit in with your I love me wall. Go sit in your I love me room. You may call it a she cave or a he cave or a man cave or a woman cave, but go there and take a look at all the things you have accomplished. One by one, pick them up, turn them like, yes, I remember how hard this was. Yes, I did it. Oh my gosh, I remember this. We didn't think we were going to win, but we pulled it out. We came from a deficit. The I love me wall is a great place to start to building your self-confidence. Go back over and look over your, if you had a really successful high school, if you felt like high school wasn't successful, then you don't want to walk down that lane. But really, old rewards or from college or high school, if you have some things there, definitely take a look at that. Even talk with siblings and talk with your family. Ask them to share positive things about your childhood with you. Because really, again, it's all about building that self-esteem up. Looking back at what you've done well and understanding that if you did it once, you can certainly do it again, right? So go through your old photographs, your old photo albums or journals. Just remember the happy moments. Go dig through your attic if you got it, or, dig through storage and get all those positive things out where you actually succeed. You were on your game. Because the whole purpose is if you did it once, then that means you can do it again. This is just temporary. It is a temporary loss of confidence. It's not a forever thing. You can get it back and build it up, right? And remember that, it's normal. At some point, again, the confidence level just varies at different times. And it's normal to lose it in one place, right? And sometimes if you lose it in one place, you'd be good in all the other places. But sometimes if you lose it in one place, it feels like we lost it all the way around. That's why I love the I love me wall, because you get to going through and you get to looking at, because what'll happen is you'll realize how difficult some things were, but you actually hung in there and you got them done, right? And this is just a wonderful strategy to understand that a sudden loss of self-confidence, it is temporary. It's not a forever thing, right? It is a good strategy to actively pursue, right, these things that can bring back that missing self-confidence. So you don't want to just think about looking through your I love me wall. You want to physically actively get up and do. That's the key here. Physically actively go seek help. Physically active, go see your family. Go get your body in motion to do things, because that will bring that energy back. And before you know it, you will have your self-confidence will be back. You'll have it restored, right? Because your self-esteem and your self-confidence go hand in hand. When one drops, the other drops. When one comes up, the other comes up, right? And so that's what we do here. So I appreciate you watching. Give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful. And I have a cheat sheet, right? It is called, and I had it up. Let's see if I can get it back up real quick. I actually was closing some things down because I am that person. My sister was just literally laughing at me because I am the person who has 40 tabs open at one time. And I was like, okay, I am going to be live, so I need to shut some things down. And that is what I did. I shut it down. But it is actually a cheat sheet. It is a cheat sheet of 40 things that you can do to work on your self-confidence. And I will put that out there for you. I'm not going to hold you any longer. I do appreciate you for dropping in, and I will get that out to you. I'll drop it here in the comments, and I'll also put it on my page, Twanna Carter Professional and Personal Coaching, LLC. And for the ladies in my Rising Above Anxiety, my Facebook group that is open to all women, you're more than welcome to join. I will put it there for you, as well as just a nice cheat sheet that you can go out and download and actually take with you. I like to give you things that you can take with you because it is healthy and you can actually reference it back. And I can't believe I shut it down, and it was right here. Let's see if I can find it. But I will get that to you as soon as I get off, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Next week's okay, there's Jamisha that just popped on. Hey, lady. Oh, she says your videos are always so helpful. Found myself needing a boost today, and this was right on time. I am so happy, Jamisa. Absolutely happy. And thanks for your comments. So be on the lookout for my cheat sheet when I can find it. I can't believe that was the one thing that I actually shut down and I shouldn't have. And I still have like 20 tabs open, but that's just kind of how my mind rolls, right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for popping in. Next week, it is all about mindset. Thanks to I have a secret secret Facebook group, and those ladies in there came up with topic this week for confidence, and next week mindset. So next week it'll be all about mindset. I'll see you back here on Tuesday at 7:30, and I'll see you back here next Thursday at 7:30. Actually, I'm going to do that one probably early, so it'll be 6:30. But just like I did today, I'll put them out there. You can just tune in. Thanks much, people. Have a great rest of the evening. Bye-bye.